What's up, everybody? This is Wos with your BMS Gogoats team analysis for the Season 2 of the PWC. So let's get right into it. The first mon we did get in this draft was, I did not think I was going to get this thing with the 8th pick, but somehow I did. Mega Metagross. This thing is an absolute monster. It has cuff walls, so basically you're just going to work physically offensive with this, but you can run special if you have to. This thing eats up hits. It can outspeed anything because it has base 110 speed. So anything with base 100 speed can still outspeed it, which is great. So it's a lot of things like Garchomp's, Mews, anything base 100s. But it also has a really good move pool. It has things like Bullet Punch with priority. It has, Meteor Mash. It has Earthquake. It has Zen Headbutt, Ice Punch, Fire Punch. I'm pretty sure too. Really? It does not have Fire Punch. That's weird. I just assumed you got all of them. You can set up rocks, you can make it defensive, you can, utility. Mainly, it's going to be used as an offensive sweeper with me, because I do play very, very offensive. I'll usually play with very fast offensive threats, combined with bulky offensive threats, and then just 1 or 2 things in there for bulk. I should say this though, how the team is set up, it's 1 Mega, followed by 2 OU, UU, NU, RU, and PU picks. So we have 11 mons total. This thing is fantastic. You can come in late game, outspeed everything, and just start sweeping it. It can set up, like I said, with Meteor Mash and Power Up Punch. And yeah, this thing is an absolute monster. Plus, Shiny is amazing. Kind of went into consideration for picking it. Then I thought my pick came back around. Good mon to go with it would be Azumarill. So the very, very, fairy typing. Very good, especially with this thing, because you can run it AV, you can run it Bandit, you can set up with it and just Billy Drum. Because if you don't have a bulky water type or anything that can switch in or even take a good water type move, you're screwed. This thing just set Belly Dance and start Aqua Jetting you with max attack times 6, and it's just gonna tear through a team. Plus, like I said, bulky, it can eat up hits and then just start going in. Next mon we got was Latias, which is very good because it gives me Defogger, one of the best ones at that, but it also gives me a Dragon type and a Psychic type to go through. I love that typing. To be honest with you, Dracos just tear through teams unless they have a fairy. But if they do, we make a Metagross. This thing has Energy Ball, Earthquake, you can set up on, you can run defensive, you can, Healing Wish, Scarf it, Life Orb it. A lot of different things you can do with it, which is very good, which is why I like it. It's very versatile with what it can do. First you picked then was Hydreigon. I love using this thing, Scarf, late game sweeper. With Draco, it has Dragon Pulse as well. But Dark Pulses, it can switch out. It can just do whatever it wants, it has to. Late game to sweep, which is very good. It's also a great revenge killer if you do Scarf it. But, not much you can say about Hydreigon. It's just a really good offensive threat. As you can tell, first 4 picks were very offensive, so you need a little bit of bulk. That's where Cresselia comes in. This thing is annoyingly bulky with reliable recovery, which is why it's so good in league formats. Yeah, usually gets toxic, but you can also run Psycho Shift on it, which I have already, and it's worked out. Like I said, this thing it sticks around. You can toxic, you can speed control with Thunder Wave, and yeah, it's basically really good too. It's psychic, which my other main threat, one of them is immune to. It's Miltank. I'll just say it right now. I really don't care about letting that go. This thing sits on the field. It's just gonna stick around for a while. Speed control and just let it. The next pick though was kind of, I like it. I probably could have waited a long time to get it though. It is a Sogor. The reason I do like this thing is base 145 speed. This thing can come in, lead, set up hazards, file gambit, or it can. I personally like using it as a late forward special attacker, because with Bug Buzz, Energy Ball, Sludge Wave, Focus Blast, it can actually do a lot of damage to teams if you're not expecting it, especially if you don't really have a switch in late game with everything that's dwindled down and everything. This thing can go in and sweep you. See, the next mons I have then X-Cloud. If you don't know about X-Cloud, well, it comes in specs and boom bursts. That's it. The thing just tears through teams. It's a nuke, which is why I love it. And plus, I don't have to face it because this thing is scary as shit. If you're not prepared for it, it will just run through your team easily. I mean, that's pretty much it. You generally run like 4 specs on it. The reason I did get it is I do have, skip ahead a little bit, leave in. I got this thing for one reason, and that is sticky webs. It's the only reason you do use it. But also the threat of sticky webs too kind of messes with some teams, gets you thinking, if he does bring it, if he's not going to bring it, what do I do? It just makes you think about how you're going to deal with a sticky web team. Because you can also have other hazards like spikes, and I can get up with milk tanks, self-rocks. This is my other big wall. I do really like this thing because it is very physically defensive, but you can also outspeed a lot of things with it. If it's another wall or stuff like that, because it does have base 100, I believe. Like there, yeah, base 100 speed, which is fantastic, with reliable recovery and milk drink. Once again, body slam, speed control, which is one thing I do love. Control space, you can tell with sticky webs. I do love to slow down teams and come in late game with things like X-Blab and the Zoom Roll and Lottie and Mega Metagross and just tear through them at the end. Thinking Toxic and dwindle things down, it is very good. That's why I love it. With also Thick, Fat, and Scrappy do help out a lot. And I can run Sapsiver, which would pair nicely with the Azumarill. Someone comes in, is going to try to take it out with the Seed Bomb or anything like that. If I do think about that, I could always switch it in, get the attack raise, and just start going through it offense. Maybe Bandit. I don't know. We'll see. Next month. Ludicolo. I draft this thing for one reason only, and that is Manaphy. Manaphy is super dangerous. Cannot touch this thing. If it sets up, and it has to run Psychic, but at that point I can switch into Hydreigon, outspeed it with Scarf and tear through. This thing, you have to set up to +6 to do anything without Psychic on it. With whatever it's Scald, Surf, Ice Beam, anything like that. It just tanks it, and it actually, if you do run, what I usually do is run max HP, max special attack, and just Energy Ball. It is about 90%, which is a very good chunk to it. At that point, you have things with priority coming to finish it off. It is also nice to have Swift Swim, because if you try to set up hydration, well, Rain Dance with hydration, it's just going to make you faster, and it just gives them something they have to think about and take this thing out eventually. The last mon is Emolga. This thing, it gives me a U-turn, or not U-turn, Volt Switch. That's pretty much the only reason I got it. It does have flying, which is okay. I mean, it's Emolga. If I want to, I can run Nuzzle on it and static, paralyze 1 or 2 things, but can't eat up a hit. I mean, it is a PU pick, so nothing in PU or NFE is really going to do that much. These mons are mainly just going to be in there for spot starts when they have a good matchup for some reason, toxic things to paralyze them, stuff like that. I mean, the only reason Leavanny ever gets drafted is because of sticky webs. It's one thing it's good at, but that's about it. Very versatile team with things that can come in and sweep at the end, and there's a lot of late game sweeping threats with Mega Metagross, Lottie, Hydreigon. They can all just come in late game, take out 3-4 mons, and you're done, which is why I do like it. Plus, you're also very bulky with these two, with the Mega Metagross and Zermal, so they can't eat up numerous hits and also just start taking things out. Like I said, play very offensive, throw in a couple walls in there, dwindle some things down, come in late game, and knock everything out. That's generally how I play. Anyway, we'll see how it works out this year. First game I play against Draco, he has a okay team. I say okay, even though I was kind of scared of it. I already had first 2 weeks done, so you'll see the post-com after this. But yeah, this is our team. Very excited, very good, I love it, and yeah, see you guys with the week 1 matchup. See ya.